All right, so we're gonna get into the Him trailer, latest film produced by Jordan Peele, not directed by. Been seeing a lot of people. They're like, "Oh, Jordan Peele," and it's like it's directed by, so it's not him. I remember seeing this when it initially dropped. What was that, 11 days ago? And I was a bit like, "Meh." And I also wasn't doing reactions yet, so didn't think anything of it. So yeah, now we're back. We're just seeing it again. My initial thoughts were like, okay, it was interesting ish. Some parts felt very like shot like a commercial, like it felt like it was shot like an ad, not like a film. With all the different lighting techniques and stuff, like it just seemed very like, I don't know, ad-y, like it just seemed like a commercial in some regards. Some of the color grading looked kind of flat. The whole thing looks kind of flat unless there's some sort of color contrast or things of that nature. So let's get into it now. It seems like this year a lot of thrilling and suspense and horror stuff is coming out. It seems like I, even with before knowing of like Sinners and all that, it's just this is a year of really ramping up original stories, horror concepts. So yeah, let's see what's going on with this. It's kind of this mix of like, the program, any given Sunday, and like some dark shit. So we'll see what's going on. We'll see what it's hitting.
You
It's
want
very
this?
commercial. Okay.
I said, do you want this? If you want to transcend the game, you have to dig deep. Your mind and your body have to be in sync.
See, a lot of these techniques are very
Talent is how
like a lot
hard
of
you
ads
work
use
for
these
it.
now. This could be an Under Armour or a
Nobody is
Nike
off.
commercial. Screen
But for me,
flares,
we
you
grind.
know,
I'm never good enough. I'm never good enough. That's how great people think.
that shot. It looks like a very highly produced commercial from producer Jordan Peele.
So
I
you
mean,
have to ask yourself,
so this is all visualization now.
what am I willing to sacrifice? This ain't a fucking game, man. This is everything. Do you want this? What are you willing to sacrifice? You fucking say it!
Ancestors. Is that a guy giving him, you know, something in the mirror?
And show me.
That could be a fragrance commercial. That looks like a fragrance ad. Justin Tipping, September 19th. So, yeah, I mean, it looks like a really twisted ad. It looks like a really twisted commercial. Um, yeah, I don't know. It looks like all the parts are really devoted towards this mood. I mean, Marlon Wayans is really, I mean, he's like chewing that shit up for sure. Um, it's hard to see if it's over or justified in clips. You could be like, whoa, he's at 100, and like so. Yeah, I don't know. I don't. My take on this, I'm kind of just okay. And a lot of the visuals look like shock for shock's sake, or just like the effect of just oddness or weirdness, and stark contrast, like having like, the tasseled, glitter tasseled cowboy in the desert. Um, okay, so I think there's a lot of just playing on imagery, like what would be weird or what would be odd in relation to this context. It kind of also gives me that feeling of, I never saw season two, but Them from Prime, channeling the supernatural of like lineage and ancestors and like the Black Blythe, and this gives very like his initiation into trying to become like the best. Like, what are you willing to do, um, to be number one, maybe for looking for a team or a draft or becoming a more like some. I'm sure there's some stakes that he has to reach to being like the number one or the next big, whatever, the next QB. And apparently it's like all once that concussion happens, it's like the shift of now his brain is in like he just becomes manic. I would say giving like yeah, it's giving like the program Any Given Sunday meets them. You know, like the faces on the wall are very, you know, like the sport and the system has been like capitalizing on, you know, the Negro for since the beginning. You know, that kind of it's giving very like the commercialization of the sport. We're going to capitalize on a certain demographic, this demographic. So a lot of images seems like a lot of motifs going on that theme. You know, Sinners have theirs, this has this. So I feel like it's very culturally driven. Obviously, who knows how involved Jordan Peterson was with this. Um, but yeah, I would say I don't think it's on my list. I'm not like in a, you know, I'm like okay, like if people, it just doesn't seem like something I would go to the movies for, to be completely honest with you. So let me know what your thoughts are. Maybe you're a bit more like whatever. I think it just seems like a lot of shock for shock's sake in relation to other films where it seems like there's a lot more kind of weight behind the thing and not just like grotesquerie just for the sake of like, oh, whoa. Like it's feel like it's just gonna be giving a lot of that, a lot of sharp images, a lot of harsh images, like just random. Let's find a way to make this visual add to the horror or suspense supernatural horns and gold horns, and it just seems like yeah, like there's this certain pentagram and like cabal of like being number one and being at the top and being a commercial commodity for the sport for exploitation, in this case a mixed race black exploitation individual. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. Can't say I'm really jazzed for it. Even on the second viewing, even with other people's reactions and being like, yeah, it just seems like very shock value, shock for shock's sake, similar to them. A lot of culture, vulture, corn, um, like very just like kind of exploiting the sort of trauma of it all. So I don't know, didn't really hit for me, but hey, we'll see. September, it seems like it's going to be a great August through fall season of a lot of original horror movies coming out. So if anything, the fact that more original things are getting greenlit and getting theatrical releases, I think is a big takeaway and something to be always supportive of. Regardless, that's what we need more of. And if it can do something, then great. So yeah. All right, this has been Trailer Take, and let me know your comments, and we'll see you on the next one.